Greetings and salutations. Welcome, one and all. My name is Michael of the Dead Gamer, and welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Curse of the Crimson Throne. Now, Curse of the Crimson Throne is a Pathfinder 1st Edition adventure, which has been lovingly converted into a 2nd Edition adventure for my lovely Patreons here, whom you can see next to me in all of their glory, or at least all of their characters' glory. Say good morning, everyone.
Good
morning, everyone.
Morning, everyone.
It's not morning,
Hello
though,
there,
but I'll say hi.
Very well.
Evening.
Yeah. I knew Laura was just waiting to say something smart at the end. I was looking at her. I was just like, she's not saying anything. She's not saying anything. Watch. She'll wait till everyone's done and then get her licks in. Freaking Laura. Not save yourself. Fine. Anyway, today we are joined again for this amazing journey and adventure. But of course, we wouldn't be here without the help of some very kind and generous people. So let's take a quick moment to talk about them and give our big old thanks. Starting, of course, with our sponsors for the show. Now, guys, sponsors are the people who help us keep the lights on and get us to run the day-to-day. Our first big and wonderful and amazing sponsor is none other than HeroForge, which you can see we use quite a lot on this channel. HeroForge is a 3D model maker that you can actually use to make D&D characters and design them. Not only can you use them like I do for my DTRPGs online, for my virtual tabletop, and of course for the avatars of my players, which you can see here, but I also get them 3D printed and then sent to my house so I can play with characters in real-world stuff with the actual quality of the minis here are just absolutely incredible, and you don't only need to get them printed as just standard prints. You can actually get them color printed if you, like me, have a lack of time. If you have a lack of time to paint minis, we don't talk about how many minis Dag has to paint, but you know what? Yeah, HeroForge, thank you so much for saving me the trouble. Then, of course, we want to take a moment to thank our friends over at Sirenscape, because, of course, epic games should have epic sounds, and this sound set has always made the games feel incredible. Whether it's from celebrating a massive battle, or maybe it's, we've kind of done something that's, super dumb, and someone dies. There's tons of sounds on the actual program, and I highly recommend it to people if you want to add a little bit of atmosphere to your games. And lastly, if you are in the VTT space, there are so many VTTs that you can choose from, but if you want to give some consideration to Fantasy Grounds, that'd be cool, because it's what I use. And Fantasy Grounds, I will admit, Fantasy Grounds compared to a lot of stuff does have a higher cost threshold, but I will say this. Not one point in my life have ever said it's not worth it. It has been an absolute lifesaver when it's come to building characters, designing games, and even just being able to interact with a very, very dynamic virtual experience. Yeah, Fantasy Grounds has you covered. It has been absolutely amazing. So there you go. That's all the stuff. Now, before we kick off, let's meet the characters for today's adventure. Starting with none other than our dear friend Twiff, a.k.a. Padrig.
Hello, yes, I am playing Padrig, who is a young man who comes from a minor-ish, noble-ish family. He was going to wizard school. He got kicked out. He got disinherited when he was framed for murder. He's gotten his revenge on Gadrin Lamb. He's been trying to do good in the city since then, embarking on a new life and the new path that's taken him, and turned his attention away from magic into firepower.
Fantastic. Next up, of course, playing the role of Holly is our dear friend Malakisa.
Hello, and good evening, everyone, because I'm on East Coast time. So I'm playing Holly, who is a noble in the Unseelie Court. And Holly loves to read a whole lot, except she didn't read any of the books that her tutors wanted her to read. She read a lot of adventure books. So when it came time that her parents said that she needed to get married, she said no, and she just left. So she went into the real world and met some people in Korvosa and decided that we are all the heroes of everything that is going on. Everybody else obviously is the bad guy. And she's slowly coming to terms with sometimes there might be a little bit of gray in the world, but she doesn't like seeing the sad things. She is eternally optimistic. And with her, as always, is her best friend, her husky companion, Penny.
All right. Now, unfortunately, our dear friend Ayr Janasi is unwell and unable to join us, but she normally plays the role of Quinn, the stalwart investigator with a blade of lightning that goes through the city, ensuring that everyone is safe and looked after. With many friends in the seedy underbelly of the city, that is probably where Quinn is currently stretching out her roots and finding out about the going on of the adventure as we go into today's game. Next up, of course, playing the role of the enigmatic Dante is our dear friend Rykon. Rykon.
I think Rykon stepped away for a moment.
No, he said he's back. Did he step away again? And he stepped away again. Very well. Rykon, our dear friend, is playing the role of Dante. Dante is, of course, our kitsune druid who has been currently on a quest searching and scouring the city in order to try and find and locate the source of a strange drug known as Pesh throughout the city of Korvosa. It is through this drug that not only poisons the land, but also poisons the people, and Dante has experienced friends and allies having fallen victim to the devastation of this particular drug. So, Dante is currently on a quest to try and resolve that and fix it. Next on our list, of course, playing the role of the amazing Agnes, our psychic member of the party, is none other than our amazing Laura Bones.
Hello. Good evening. Yes, Agnes, who is, well, she's a mom, and she kind of fell into these lovely people. They are lovely people. She's come to think of them as lovely people by accident, but realized that, well, there was things going on in their city, and she wanted to do something about that to make somewhere safe for her daughter. But along the way, I think she's realized that kind of exciting. I mean, yeah, she's nearly died a few times, but at the same time, first time a pulse has been quickened for a long time.
It's such a rush. It's just that's, fresh air and stretching your legs and fighting off the undead. What's not to love? And, of course, rejoining our group, we have none other than the mechanical marvel themselves, the automaton Fido, played by our dear friend Chad. Hello!
Hello and good evening to everyone.
Evening.
Just cover all bases there for everyone all around the world.
Nice. Tell us a little bit about Fido.
Fido is an automaton over 5,000 years old who has recently reawoken from taking a 200 or 300-year nap to see how the world is doing, see if it's changed, see if it's anything other than him has been able to remain permanent. He found his way with these groups of people in the area of Korvosa, discovered all these wonderful things that have been happening, and has decided for the time being he's got nothing else better to do other than take care of his faithful animal companion, Kane, who is a lovable adult wolf. And help these folks out, just because there's a slight resemblance to the people he used to care for 5,000 years ago in the city he had been charged to look after. So it's kind of in his making, as it were.
Yeah.
That's where we are.
Yeah, all right, I dig that. Sweet. All right. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, before we kick off, as always, we want to just take a quick moment to thank our biggest sponsor, our most kind and generous sponsor, and that is you guys in the chat. Thank you so much. We've already had such a generous donation for today. We've had McClover donate as well as Schooly Eye. McClover has donated 2 hero points to Holly. And Schooly Eye has kindly donated a Nat 20 and hero point for Patrick, a hero point for Holly, a hero point for Agnes, and a hero point for Fido, as well as a plot twist. So there you go. Did I add a hero point to Fido?
Thank you, you wonderful people.
Yes, I did not add a hero point to Fido. One moment while I add Fido's hero point here. There we go. All right. Now, if you too would like to donate to the channel and help us out, there are a number of ways you can interact with the game as we play. Let's see. First of all, just being here is more than enough. We are just so grateful for you guys to be a part of the community and continue to watch our shows and stuff. And you will earn channel points. More channel points, obviously, if you are subscribed to the channel. But these channel points can be used to do everything from staving off death, forcing rerolls, granting inspiration, giving insight check on puzzles, whole bunch of cool stuff there in the chat. And if you're lucky and you attend one of my 14-hour marathon gaming things that I apparently do, you can earn a ton of points. Yesterday I was playing Midnight Suns and that was pointed out, and I was like, I guess you guys get tons of points just for leaving, lurking. That was so I've got a lot of people who are now armed with some channel points. And then, of course, if you do feel like donating to the channel and helping us continue making shows like this and even bigger and better ones, then consider donating to, of course, these rewards, which, of course, start with a $5 reward, giving a hero point to players or a jinx point to me, which can be used to stave off death, reroll, or, of course, petition the GM for stuff that isn't necessarily in the rules. For $10, you will get a plot twist card. And Schooly Eye, while we're here, let's show exactly how that works. First of all, I shuffle a deck of random plot twists and then draw 3 of them. 1, 2, and 3. Then the person who donated gets to choose one of these 3, and it will happen as soon as possible. The 3 choices for you, Schooly Eye, are the point of no return, what are the odds, and switch sides. So those are the 3 plot twists. Point of no return, what are the odds, and switch sides. So you get to pick one, and that gets to get played. For $20, you can donate to either your GM or the players a coveted natural 20. These are, of course, used as natural 20s for the course of the game. And for $50, you can either boost a fight that the group is playing by making a boss stronger or making a minion into a boss, or alternatively, you can provide the group with a magic item of your choice. Lastly, we have our secret $100 menu item. Now, the secret $100 menu item is an NPC that the group will encounter. This encounter is a cleric, but he's not a typical cleric. He is an anti-hero of my own devising. His name is Rogar, and Rogar is a cleric of Grotius. Grotius is a god of doomsday, basically. If you imagine all those kind of doomsday clerics and stuff like that, prophecies of the end of the world, that's basically what it is. So if you guys are interested in meeting Rogar, that is who we have as our secret menu item today. All right. Also, real quick, Careful Cantrip. Go consider following Careful Cantrip because they are a wonderful group of content creators and my second home away from home. And most importantly, we, for those of you who don't know, are preparing for Careful Cantrip Platinum. And if you want to know more about that, just go subscribe to Careful Cantrip and find out all about Careful Cantrip Platinum. There you go. I know, McBluff. That's why I made it. Anyway, sorry. I'm being yelled at. Okay. Who's ready to play some games?
Yes.
Yeah, that's better.
Yes.
Let's try that again. Who's ready to play some games?
Oh,
Woo!
Hey,
Let's do the thing.
Yeah, heck
ooh,
yeah.
ooh.
All right. Without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let us dive back into the lands of Korvosa. Now, when last we left off, our adventurers were just resolving a massive zombie outbreak that was happening at Carowin Mansion. An outbreak that was onset by Jolinstar, a mad cultist who had apparently arrived in town in order to try and spread sickness among the noble castes of the city of Korvosa. Through her, it has been revealed for the first time in solid proof that some malicious force has its eyes set upon your fair city. Now, for those who haven't joined us for the last few weeks, Korvosa is a city that is nestled in the southern reaches of the lands of Varisia. Recently, the emperor and ruler of this fair city has perished, leaving the city in turmoil, with riots, violence, and outbreaks of disease running rampant through the streets. It has been a difficult process since the transition of power to Queen Iliosa, who is the current ruler of the city. Many things have suspiciously began turning the wheel of power here in the city. The Sable Company Marines, an honorable group of knights who rode upon the backs of hippogriffs, were dissolved and replaced instead with warriors clad in scarlet known as the Grey Maidens. The disease, known as Bloodveil, has started to eke its way across the streets, and it has been discovered that the cult of Urgathoa, the goddess of disease and gluttony and undeath, they have started exuding their presence here in the city, but to what end and under what cause? And lastly, even the thieves, brigands, and thugs of this city have started to feel an uneasy tension in the air. Our heroes, deputized by Cressida Croft, the current field marshal, has managed to save Count Carowin and thus secured some more resources and funds for the city guard, who has been left in some measure of disrepair since the transition of power as well. Our heroes now have returned to Field Marshal Croft, with Jolinstar, the mad necromancer, in tow. She has said that she has no intention or desire to fight back, or to even apologize for what she had done. She much prefers being in jail than the fate that has been laid before her. With the failure to secure Count Carowin, she has revealed that she has been marked by none other than the Red Mantis Assassins, a group of zealotous killers who slay not just for money, but for a divine purpose as well. Cressida has agreed to safeguard her, as is the duty of the guards, but also interrogate her to find out more of what she knows of those who are working against the city. It is here that we pick up, as our heroes enjoy some well-needed time off. Now, guys, this is going to be the course of the next 2-3 days as the interrogation goes on. I'm going to invite each of you to narrate, I guess, what is happening over the course of those 3 days for your character. And if at any point in time you would like to talk to or interact with any of the other characters, you may do so. Other places and people you may wish to visit include, of course, your home base in the Midtown, in which Zalara, your ghostly, your ghostly deck of cards, fortune teller, you may wish to speak to her. There is also Chris, a cursed item merchant. There is Jackagon, your alchemical friend. And I really think that's it in terms of, like, story NPCs. If I forgot something, let me know.
There's
All right.
something Agnes would like to do before everybody scatters off, if possible,
Of course, let's start
with
there then.
everybody. Because we've just obviously, as you mentioned before, being attacked by zombies. And Agnes is kind of a little bit of aware of the dangers of, zombie bites and things from beyond the grave. So she would like to, enlisting Dante's help if possible, just try and check everybody over to see if they contracted anything from the zombie attack, basically. Yeah, see if anybody contracted any kind of diseases or anything like that from being attacked, because she knows she herself was, bitten a couple of times.
Sure, of course. Many of you have indeed
So was
suffered
Dante.
a variety of different bites from these characters. So let's start with a medicine check for those who wish to inspect yourselves for any potential diseases.
Do we have to inspect ourselves, or can we have Rykon, who knows what he's doing, inspect it?
It'll be
Yeah,
you'll inspect the group. The group will be inspected.
'Cause I was going
Yeah,
to
I'll
say,
still send Rykon.
I have the what's it called? Cooperative nature. So I'll end +4 to aid check. So like that was just, oh.
Sure, sure.
That's actually pretty good for me. 26 for me.
All right, we have a 26, a 30, and a 16. So between the group, you have you've
Sorry,
discovered.
just a rules question. Do I get any benefits from having a healer's kit for these checks or not?
I believe the healer's kits allow you to heal.
Okay.
But if you click on the little dragon thing next to your healer's kit, it should give you all the details.
Oh yeah, that's right. Carry on.
More importantly, this is simply to identify your whether or not you have a disease, and sure enough, you do identify that of all of you, currently, Agnes has contracted the disease,
Dun, dun, dun.
and Holly is anemic.
So Agnes is going to rumple around in her bag and pull out a scroll and like hand it to Dante and say, "Oh, well, you see, we got these. Remember of Cressida, these scrolls of removed disease. It might be better if you read it. I think. I'd be grateful anyway if you wouldn't mind." Or not. It's fine.
Do we have
I'll just die.
Dante?
Oh, I'm feeling weak. Oh.
You're muted, Dante.
I see his character animating, but there's no words coming out.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I was muted. It's I didn't have the right headset selected.
Right.
Oh.
Okay, there you go.
It was like muted, but not.
All right, what do you say?
I have no problems doing so. I also can cast a spell. I would like to try and treat it normally, however.
All right. Normal treatments require a medicine check, which will allow for the reroll of a fortitude save against the disease. Should it succeed, it will, of course, slowly begin to ebb away. So,
I have one thing to add to that. I also have inoculation, which, if I succeed on a treat disease and they fully recover from it, they gain a +2 circumstance bonus to saving throws against the same disease for a week.
Nice. That's really good.
And I've also been plying everyone with anti-plague potions as well.
All right. You may mark off your anti-plagues from the from your character sheet.
Yeah, no, I think if I recall, we had said given the plague, I was using the philosopher's extractor to kind of make them for everyone.
Oh
for
yeah,
one a
yes,
day.
yes. No, of course you're right. You're right. Okay. In which case, Agnes, you may make another fortitude save.
Okay, so not
Would you want me to roll a medicine check real quick, though?
Yes, please do. Okay. And our fort save.
Oh. Hmm. Oh, hang on. I'm on the right screen here.
If you look on your main page.
Hey, oh, sorry, I had many windows open.
Very well. All right. Nice. All right. With a 22, that will, of course, stave off your zombie virus. It means that you will need a good night's rest, but after which you should be right as rain.
Oh, right. Thank you.
Does Holly need one as well?
Nope. Holly doesn't have a disease. Holly is anemic.
Yep,
Oh,
completely
okay.
different.
Pardon?
Okay. In that case, Holly's gonna run over to Agnes and hug her. Thank you so much. That was a really smart idea, and I'm really glad that you're feeling better. And I was wondering if you could maybe do me a favor when you are feeling better, maybe tomorrow, if you could possibly make me some pies, because I want to bring some pies to some friends of mine, because your pies are amazing and really good.
Oh, yes, of course, dearie. That would not be a problem. Any particular kind? Savory, sweet?
Oh, definitely sweet.
Okay.
I don't know. If Holly's anemic, maybe you should make her some meat pies too.
It's not a terrible idea.
Well, the pies are for my friends.
Oh, greens are normally better for that. Find some spinach. Maybe some kale.
Kale prominent in Korvosa?
Not especially. I mean, I imagine that there's actually seaweed is probably something that they do prepare and eat here because you are a coastal city, so makes sense. Anything further from you guys?
That's it for today. Holly's gonna wait for the pies and then go traipsing about tomorrow with the pies.
Okay, very well. All right, let's go and I'm going to throw this over now to each of you to describe your 3 days. Let's start with Padrig. Padrig, you have 3 days. What do you do?
All right, so I'm out of healing potions, so I'm certainly gonna get some of those. Although I may. So the first day, actually, I'm going to complete relocating my alchemical lab and set up to our new shop, since we have an alchemy shop now. So I'll busy myself with making sure everything's set up over there. I'm going to purchase a formula for moderate healing potions.
Okay, let's sorry, maybe I wasn't this is on me. This is more of a cinematic moment of like what Padrig's life
cinematic
is
mode.
in the. Yeah, I mean we can still have you do all of that stuff, but you know
So the cinematic version of it is, he's going to be busy himself. Padrig is scholarly by nature, even though he's not in school anymore. He kind of keeps to himself. He's going to make sure the shop is set up. He's going to be busying himself with getting all the little details of space laid out the way that he needs it, make sure everything is where he knows where it is, inspect everything, make sure that he's got all the stuff to make sure that he's going to be able to make potions. He'll spend his time, in addition to making potions, he's also going to do some research on necromancy and the undead, and also do some research on that cult. I forget exactly the bug thing that was in the skull
Cult of
box. If there was
Urgathoa.
Urgathoa. He's going to do some research on that too. See if we can find out about these people, and how he can set himself up so that he can take them out without dying himself.
All right, beautiful. Can I get you to make me a religion check?
You can. And as always, I'll ask if I could do occultism instead.
The
You're going to say no.
The answer is going to be no, I'm afraid.
It's a 13.
All right.
You know what?
Yep.
I got 3 hero points. I might actually re-roll that.
Sure, not a worry. Let's burn that hero point. Go for the reroll.
Burn one of them. I still got 2. That's better. 22.
Nice. All right. You begin to research more about this strange symbol, this kind of fly with a death skull on the back of it. You learn of the temple and the cult of Urgathoa. Now, Urgathoa has many purviews: gluttony, undeath, and disease, the top among them. Now, looking into the church and its worship, is there anything in particular that you were looking for in regards to, like, information?
Mostly, I think on the motivation. Is it something where they're looking just to revel in these things on an individual basis, or are they looking more, because it feels like they're looking more to spread disease and undeath? And so kind of what's motivating them? What's their goals?
Excellent. Well, actually, their goals are not so vicious and so nasty. Despite the lawful evil nature, it would surprise you to know that that the Temple of Urgathoa and its worshippers have a very deep and very intimate love of life. The Urgathoans, primarily, are obsessed with gluttony, the consumption and the supping that is everything of life. So much so that even the duration of one's lifespan should not be hindrance to you enjoying everything the world has to offer. And that is the nature of Urgathoa and her worshippers. The undeath and the disease elements of it, these are merely parts to help facilitate it. As far as their, I guess, worshippers go, they are far and few between. But you read up on several things, which I'm going to give you a choice. You can either learn about their divine intercessions, which include things that will give you a boon or curse you among the temple, or the aphorisms, things that the churchgoers say to kind of, again, you know, instill their faith.
I think I'm going to go with the aphorisms, because that might help identify them a bit more.
All right. You find 4 in particular. May you dine forever. Devotees of Urgathoa will believe that all will be consumed. It is simply a matter of time. Followers of Urgathoa often use this phrase to call upon others to perform acts of wanton gluttony, bestow a rite of passage onto an ally, or subtly reveal their faith to other followers of the Pallid Princess. May you never hunger again. While a fool can mistake this as a benediction, it's a damning insult, often whispered to an enemy before a victim takes their final breath. Because, obviously, for them, hunger is important. Pay the pox. As the disease runs its course, victims can no longer afford the costs of their own flesh. Their bodies wither and die along with their material ambitions. Worshippers of Urgathoa believe themselves above paying the pox. and allow them to evade the tax of mortality alone by becoming undeath. And lastly, rot in the gut, froth in the mouth, often uttered before performing a ritual obedience to the goddess, such as consuming rancid food and eating while painfully full. So these are the 4 aphorisms you find. B-Town, however, has redeemed an insight bonus. So I'm going to give you both a curse and a boon for free as well, and in your research. Thank you, B-Town.
Thanks.
All right. A minor boon. This one's kind of a giveaway, so let's go with this. Feast of the Boon is when you eat beyond the point of fullness, to the point where you ache and your body swells. This will often lead you to a boon from the goddess. The minor curse. Okay, so a curse would be to starve an enemy. Because to starve will grow hunger. But gluttony is not about hunger. It is about satiation. So she quite angers when prisoners are left to rot, etc., etc., etc. Also, thank you so much, Seagard, for the natural 20 to Holly. Holly getting some love. Look at that. All right. So, this is what you do for your research. Now, that is your 3 days. You will also get the potions that you require while you are, of course, constructing it and making this stuff as you are setting up the apothecary that you have laid out. Holly, you have received pies from Actually, you know what? Before we go to Holly, let's go to Agnes, because obviously that'll come into the pies as well. Agnes, let's go to you.
So Agnes is going to nip back home to visit her daughter, as well as to make the pies while she's there, just to check in and make sure she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
And she feels that she'll be able to make the pies better in her own kitchen, really. So yeah, she does a double whammy for one of the days.
All right. As you go back, your daughter is, of course, happy to see you. And do you share your exploits with her?
I think some of them, but she might leave out like precisely how much danger she's been in. You know, she'll downplay like the danger side of things. But she's pretty honest with her daughter because she's old enough really to, you know, to take that kind of stuff.
Sure. All right. As you share the details, she seems to be lost in thought. She tells you that her boyfriend, whose name escapes me at the moment, it was like Thomas, wasn't it? Or something like that.
In the notes.
It's a boyfriend, Thomas. Yes, it was Thomas. Aha, we have notes. Yes. So, Thomas hasn't been around for a couple of days, which was very strange. They were talking before, but she's unsure as to why he hasn't stopped by. She's had trouble getting it out of her mind. She is feeling, of course, much better and has, for the most part, followed what you've said and stayed in the house. She even helps you make some of the pies. But all the conversations, you kind of see through her eyes that kind of concern for Thomas.
Agnes will just ask her to remind her what Thomas does again, like what he does for a living.
He works on the docks. He works with he doesn't work as a fisherman, but he works with the fishermen. So unloading, offloading, tying nets, that kind of thing.
Oh, maybe I can kill another 2 birds with 1 stone. But let's go back to Holly with the pies.
All right, Holly.
Hi.
Agnes has brought you some pies.
Oh, thank you so much. My friends will be very, very happy. And this is very, very nice of you. Thank you, thank you. And then Holly's going to hug her again.
Agnes hugs her back.
Okay, and Holly is going to head over to the orphans that they rescued many, many moons ago, and bring the pies. And they're all going to have pie together, but she also wants to check on them to see how they're doing during the plague. I'll let you tell me how they're doing.
Good question. Let's find out. Uh-oh. Okay. As you arrive with many pies, you can see that the gates to the orphanage, I say the orphanage, it's obviously this couple's house.
It's the house, yeah.
Yeah, which, now is serving as an orphanage because there are so many of them. The gates are closed. You kind of notice that there is no way in. I mean, you could obviously squeeze through the bars if you'd really like, but your pies are probably not going to come through. As you are there, you can see something that concerns you. There is a small garden with a very, very tiny gravestone.
Oh no. Can I fly over the gate?
Sure, not a problem.
Okay, I'm just gonna fly over the gate, and knock on the front door.
As you do, you can hear the sounds of someone approaching. As you arrive, you hear a very, very thick, very violent coughing coming from inside. Please, you can't be here. There's sickness within here.
Oh no, it's me. It's Holly. Is everybody okay? What's going on?
Holly, you must go. You can't be here. The plague.
Have you seen a cleric? Has anyone been by? What happened?
'Tis a plague. I mean, it's pretty sad.
Have the clerics been by?
The clerics have not been by. The clerics they are currently without spell, and their prices are beyond our measure to be able to heal everyone here. We're doing our best, but
How many people are sick?
there is no response.
Holly's immediately going to fly to the Temple of Abadar.
All right. You fly to the Temple of Abadar, and once again are greeted by the same sight that you had seen before. A river of sick and dying, marshaled by the paladins of Abadar, as they try very, very hard to deal with whomever they can. Now, remind me again, is this the one where we burnt down the Temple of Abadar?
No, this is not the one. We came right in, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to show my account card to get entry.
They will allow you entry on financial business. You see a cleric. He greets you and immediately gives you the hard sell, telling you that they've got some amazing deals right now on long-term, fixed-term investments. If you want to look at getting a house, now is the time. It's a buyer's market. Lots of people are suddenly coming into a lot of empty properties, and it's a great opportunity.
I don't think I want a house right now, but I was wondering if I could get a cleric to come with me to my friend's house, and I will happily pay however much that will cost.
The cleric looks at you and seems quite somber. Now, this is not the guy you've been dealing with up until this point.
Right.
Yeah, he says, I'm terribly sorry, Lady Fairy. I'm afraid that our services are strictly to help those who are waiting for aid, and we cannot, for any price, push or change or shift this line.
I have 100 gold pieces.
The money is not the problem. We at the temple believe in fair trade. We would charge no more, no less, for a person standing at the door as we would for a king.
But they're too sick to come to the door.
That is unfortunate and heartbreaking. I wish you luck. If you can, bring them to the temple, and like all the others, have them remain in line, persevere. We are doing our best to see everyone through. There are other temples as well. The temples of Sarin Ray, Desna, Pharasma, even Asmodeus are working tirelessly to try and ebb this disease. But each day, we only have so many of our magics available to us.
Okay, thank you. And Holly's going to go as fast as she can to the Temple of Pharasma.
All right. We'll cut through and fast forward through this as Holly's desperate flight through the city yields more or less the same results from everyone. With the Temple of Asmodeus kind of being... well, actually, do you go to the Temple of Asmodeus?
If Pharasma turns me down, yep.
The Temple of Asmodeus, basically, even with the 100 gold... Actually, okay, you know what? Let's do the Temple of Asmodeus super quick. I think they'll... Okay.
Is Holly a timeshare too?
No, yes, a timeshare down south.
No timeshare.
Way south.
Got a bridge to sell you.
All right. Let me pull this guy up real quick. Where is he? Sorry, 2 seconds while I... Aha, there he is. All right. I don't know if you recognize this guy.
I recognize him.
I fully recognize him.
Yep.
Excellent. He greets you as you arrive. My dear Holly, what brings you across the darkened thresholds this fine day?
I have some friends that are very sick and they can't come out of their house, and there's lots of them, and then so a lot of them are kids and they're really sick and they need help, and I'm really hoping that you can help them, and if you need me to, I will pay.
Well, that is a lot for a fairy to be dealing with. You poor, poor thing. Would you like a tea or a biscuit or something?
Tea with some sugar would be nice, as long as you say yes and go over there.
He clicks his fingers, and as he does, you hear a scream followed by a servant showing up with a platter, a teacup, and some small biscuits. He says, "Now, unfortunately, my dear, much like with all the other clerics in this town, we have been run down from our spells, powers, and abilities. But hope may not be lost, dear."
So you can help?
Well, I can merely act as your guide. Tell me, who do you worship, my dear? Whose divine senses whisper into your delightfully petite ear?
Well, I kind of worship a relative.
Oh, well, isn't that a bit of a shame? You see, if you had the divine powers, then you would need to answer to no one into where you spend your hard-earned spells. You would be hooven to none.
I'm not sure where you're going with this.
Let me tell you a little bit about our Lord and Savior Asmodeus.
How about you tell me about Asmodeus after you heal my friends?
Oh, I'm not going to heal your friends, dear. I'm going to give you the chance for you to heal your friends. All it'll cost you is a little blood and some of your time.
I don't know if the Lantern King is gonna like this.
Well, you'll have the power of a greater god behind you, my dear. What better
Okay.
protection?
Whatever I have to do to help my friends.
Whatever you have to do. You've said the magic words, my dear. And he clicks his fingers again. You watch as what is effectively a halfling in a gimp suit is dragged out. Attached to his back is a large table. It's a writing table as he crawls on his knees towards you. He turns his back to face you, so the table is in sort of his way, as two imps then show up. These tiny winged devils with large horns. One rolls out what looks to be a very long-winded contract, and the other gets a quill and stabs the halfling that's holding the table. The imp then flies over towards you and hands you the quill. Now, of course, I'm legally obliged to tell you that every facet of this contract should be read and understood before signing. Once it has been taken, there are no backsies.
I want to read it, and Holly's gonna read it. She still doesn't trust this guy.
Oh, no, well, he may be many things, but he is not a liar. And the writing is pretty much on the wall, quite literally. Long story short, you would be selling your immortal soul to the devils themselves, to then have you go into the engines against the Blood War. You would be provided the powers that are provided to those who faithfully serve and worship Asmodeus at any point in time in which you no longer faithfully serve, or if you falsify your servitude or forget your aphorisms, your soul is then relinquished forth to and then on with immediately, and your corporeal form will then potentially be rendered into the usage of the church. So that is to say, if you ever decide to give up being a cleric of Asmodeus, they would get your body and hell would get your soul.
I don't really think that I would make a very good cleric for Asmodeus. I don't think he would like me very much. I'm not really suitable for this. My relatives think I'm too nice for them.
Oh, come now. You give yourself not nearly enough credit, my dear. Asmodeus accepts everyone. Everyone has a place at the table.
How about we do something else?
I see that perhaps maybe you were a bit too hasty to say that you would do anything for your friends.
I really want to help my friends, but this is a lot, and I really need to help.
Yes, of course. I mean, are your friends not worth a lot?
Please don't make me make this decision. There's got to be something else we can do.
You watch as he looks down at you. You realize in his eyes, he knows you. He's very familiar with you. And while there is a smile across his face, his eyes are deep. They remind you of the Bandersnatch, a creature whose eyes always hunt. You realize maybe this is not the safest of places, but I'm gonna give Mally and Holly some time to consider, as I tell you that what this would effectively do is replace your levels with cleric levels of Asmodeans. You would of course have an alignment shift, but there would be a process to that if you wanted to decide this. But I'm going to give you a bit of time to mull it over and consider. Meanwhile, let us move swiftly to Fido.
Fido.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Oh, okay. You said there's a couple weeks of downtime basically going on right now, correct?
3 days.
3 days. Oh, sorry. That's a big difference.
Just a little.
In this time, he is basically allowing Kane to have the time that he needs to play with Holly's puppy and get spend the time with the team that he's
Mhm.
liked. And in so doing this, he wishes to watch and talk with Agnes a little bit more. Just watch her because he's interested about her because she's new to him. She's new to the group, so she's new to him, and he's back. And just not really trying. I guess not necessarily talking to her. I apologize. Like just kind of watching her, just looking at what's going on, and with all of this, he's kind of wanting to look at things more and is talking. He's contemplating the finite nature of all these beings he's been spending time with now. So, and he wants some space to be able to think about all of this. So he also starts practicing how to hide better and from everybody, from everything, even to the point of hiding from senses that are usually more difficult to hide from, like beings that can smell really well, or perhaps have supernatural types of senses, just so he can try to not be bothered or approached by anyone else, because obviously being what he looks like, he kind of sticks out, and some of the normal other people of Korvosa, I imagine, may kind of point at him, talk to him, maybe try to talk with him, and he doesn't want to have to deal with any of that. He wants to try to stay out of saying. He wants to try to practice being able to hide from everybody more, so
Sure.
that he has more time to look and understand things. And when doing all this, he does follow Agnes a little bit more, and of keeping his wits about him, his eyes and ears open to what's going on with the rest of the group. So if any of them potentially need any assistance, he will go and help them.
Okay, so let me get this right. Your idea is to not be found, to hide, but also stalk your teammates all at once.
Relatively speaking, sure.
Might be a little tricky to do. All right, I want to be where no one can find me, but right where my teammates are. I appreciate
like
that.
hiding.
That for me speaks two ways. One is I want to get better at the things I'm good at, and I also don't want my teammates to be without me. It's very admirable, but I'm not letting it fly. Just so you know, it's just I just want to admit it's like someone saying in 3 days I want to learn nuclear physics, learn to juggle, and then of course I want to make sure that I'm always ready for combat. So my blades are sharp, and I'm right next to Dante anytime he does stuff. I mean, I guess that's very clever, but you can basically how about this? Your character is just naturally moves in ways that are stealthy. And for the most part, you are observing the world around you. You spend your 3 days observing not just your teammates, but other people as well in the city. You try to take notice of those darkened places. And rather than just sort of doing it on your own, you're learning to emulate some of the people who know how to move in and slip through the shadows. You can see that there are, of course, individuals who are doing dealings in behind closed doors and in dark spaces. And you're kind of learning how they move. It's more observe and emulate as opposed to you just sort of emulating it. This, of course, then falls into you obviously observing your teammates as well and seeing what they're doing and how they're going. Which, of course, means you've seen Patrick setting up for the alchemy shop. You've seen Agnes in and around the old Korvosa area. And, of course, Holly darting around the city towards the churches and whatnot.
Okay.
So, yeah, cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Dante!
Hello. Well, he would use the first day to, with the shop prep, make sure that there's things for next couple days in case there's people that come in. Because what he's going to be doing is try and track down the person that is giving out the drugs. My brain's based on what you said it was earlier.
Nice. All right. Fido. As you're observing Dante, looking at how people are stealthing and sneaking around, you notice that Dante is quite adept at sneaking around. You can notice that he seems to be tracking and tracing certain people in the darker places, and seems to be following a few conversations from place to place.
Okay. We'll attempt for this particular couple hours, I guess, as this is going on. He wishes to follow him, track him.
Nice. All right. Dante, can I get a perception check? And Fido, can I get a stealth check? Also, thank you for the follow, Doomsday D19 and Deacon's Table. Welcome to the crypt. Nice to meet you. I hope you are having a splendid day.
Oh. I mean, you do have 3 uses.
You do have hero points. You may use them.
Yeah, sure. Let's do 1 hero point now.
All right. Burning away that hero point. Make that reroll. Ooh, that's close, but no cigar.
Yeah. Well.
All right. So, as you are making your way through the city, Dante, you notice Fido following you.
Dante will at first ignore Fido just to focus on what he's doing, but then go to confront him about it after a bit.
When he stops to talk to him, he stops, he looks around and tries to find a wall, and he's nothing around except a wall. He kind of looks at the wall. Just kind of looks closely at the wall, fingering a crack along the wall or the molding between the bricks or whatever. Just kind of interesting. Yes. Very concrete.
I know you've been following me for a bit now, Fido.
Oh. Hello, Dante. I did not see you there.
Right. Is there a particular reason you're following me?
I'm practicing. I figured since you were moving around and doing different things, if I were to try to stay hidden from you, it'd give me some well-earned practice.
Well, I won't say you're doing bad, at least. You're actually doing quite well.
I'm trying some new things. I believe it's throwing me off. You know how to track by scent, isn't that correct?
Not as I am currently, but yes.
It's those types of senses that I am trying to practice being able to stay hidden.
Well, I will say it would be best to try and not be as close to who you're tracking if you are to continuously track them.
I was trying to make it a little bit more of a challenge for myself by seeing how closely I could track you without being noticed. I need to. How did you find me? How did you notice me?
Well, I would have to say you might have gotten a bit too close and I noticed you while I was searching around myself.
All right. Now, back to the old drawing. Go about your business and let me know how many times during the day you can find me. How's that?
Alright, I'll keep to that challenge then.
Excellent.
As you continue your search, Dante, I need you to make me a society check.
Ha! Oh, I was actually surprised it was that high.
All right. You're not overly comfortable with the city and the world. People are closed off to you because you dress in the garbs and in the manner of someone of the wilds. So they don't often. What are you doing? Foil.
That was not me.
That was an accident. I apologize.
I was about to say, like, that popped up for me as well. I was like, what?
I didn't do that on purpose.
How did you
I'm so
even
sorry.
pop it up for everyone?
I don't know. I went. I
don't even know how to do that on Fantasy Grounds.
I was going to try and make a copy to share it within the Discord channel so I could show you what I was trying to use, a new feat that I picked up, and apparently it shared it on Fantasy Grounds. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Well, it's a good thing it's not special senses that Dante has.
All right. So,
Ooh.
Dante, again, as I mentioned, the streets, the sort of the seedy underbelly seem to be somewhat closed off to you because of, like, the way you look, the way you dress, the way you are. But you do learn that there is of course, a pesh problem here in the city. That it's not just the disease, but now that people are in desperate states, they are turning to drugs even more than they were before. Throughout old Korvosa in particular. You believe you'd find more answers there, perhaps at Eel's End, but for now, however, it is very difficult for you to get answers. In Eel's End, let me just have a look here real quick.
How is Pesh spelt?
Pesh.
Okay, I had it correct. It was either that or SCH. It was one of the two.
All right. The House of Clouds is one of the open dealers. Oh, okay. There you go. So there you go. All right. The first couple of days go by swinging through. Let's dip back to Holly before we pass forward. Holly. And let's set a mood here. There we go. All right. Holly.
If I sign this, am I still going to be me?
Well, of course, my dear, you'll still be you. Just more you, I guess. You'll find that you'll enjoy other things, perhaps. I, for one, developed a taste for frogs. It's very weird, but as far as differences go, it's not the worst thing that could happen.
I need to save my friends, so I'm gonna do it. And Holly signs it.
All right. As soon as the blood touches the parchment, the actual trail behind the blood begins to burn and create a singe mark on the scroll. The imps read it over. Now, here's a question for you. Have you signed it correctly?
Yeah, I don't think it would have occurred to her to sign it incorrectly.
Sure. All right. Very well. In which case, Holly, you are the proud owner of cleric levels. I will say this. Looking at your layout, I will allow you to replace your levels of rogue with levels of cleric. You are now lawful evil in alignment. And let me just have a quick look here, because I need to just find out what level that spell is. Actually, Dante, what level is remove disease as a spell?
Remove disease is a third.
Third level spell? Which means I believe you need... Let me just check this real quick. Remove disease. Yep, that's a third level spell. Not a problem. So for remove disease, you will require a minimum of classes, cleric. There we go.
And I have 3, and if I took a day, I could actually have 3 prepared at my level.
So you'll need at least 5 levels of cleric. So, you're going to be replacing some of your levels of rogue, a minimum of 5. You can replace more. You can replace all your rogue levels if you want. But, yes. This will fundamentally be a rebuild. So if you want to, feel free to start building new Holly in the background.
I will build new Holly in the background, and Holly herself is going to fly back to her friend's house before everything changes and do what she meant to do and start removing disease on her friends.
We will do this once we know exactly how many removed diseases you have. So, yes, start working on that and also call it Holly Darkflower. Ha ha ha. Just
So
so that we
make a new character entirely?
Yes, brand new character entirely. Because that way, if we ever want to go back, we've got the original as well. All right. The next few days, as I mentioned, go by relatively swiftly. Patrick, you and Quinn have done amazing work with the apothecary, making it a rather steady business. Dante and Fido, the two of you, have begun to unearth a seedy plot of plot twists surrounding this drug known as Pesh. You also learn that the House of Clouds, what is effectively the opiate lounge, is that a word? Like I don't know, opium lounge, opium den, that's the word. Haha, I knew it. The opium den of the city is run by a half-elf female named Halvara, which you may add to your notes on your plot. Agnes, you and your daughter bond over the next 3 days, but no sign of Thomas.
Yeah, well, actually, Agnes was thinking of heading down to the docks to see if she could find
Thomas?
the Aristil dude. No, yes, but also the
To find Thomas.
what was his
'Cause you're a
name?
good mum.
The dude from Aristil.
Yeah, Dan Bailey.
The fisherman, Dan Bailey, to see if he's heard anything. He works down there. He might have.
Yeah,
He seems like the kind of person that keeps an eye out on things.
All right, I like that. Let's go check in on old Dan Bailey. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. Here we go. You find yourself over by the lapping waters of the docks along the eastern side of the city. There you see many of the ships have already gone out, and a couple of people are working along the edges. You see an old blind woman sort of trying to sell you some fish. You can see there's, a couple of individuals who are, kind of just keeping the moors. And around this time of day, the fishing boats begin to come in. Up ahead, you see, of course, a large vessel with 3 people. And it, of course, also has Dan Bailey. Large, strapping man who seems to be pulling in this large net with like salt water kind of spraying him in the face as he's doing so. And when he sees you, he kind of waves, dropping the net onto the deck as 2 of his other fishing hands like try to dive out of the way before getting crushed. He apologizes and he starts picking them up, and eventually pulls into dock. While the others are unloading, he walks down the plank towards you. I forgot his voice. Was he Irish or Scottish?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
It's been a hot minute.
It's been a hot minute, right? Okay, so let's try this. All right, let me just go with what's natural. All right. Well, if it isn't Lady Agnes, it's good to see you again.
Oh, hello. How are you?
Well, much better now that I've found my ground. Now, what brings this fair wind into my sails today?
Oh, well, I wish it were happier news, really, to be fair. But you see, my daughter's boyfriend, Thomas, well, she hasn't seen him for a couple of days, and, well, it's unusual, as they hadn't had a falling out or anything, And, well, he worked here on the docks, and, well, I was just wondering if...
the wee boy Thomas. Yes, no, I've seen him more than a few times, I have. He hasn't been showing up to work lately, in fact. I often see him traveling up and down, unloading the cargo bays as we come into dock. And he's a hard worker, that one. But if I remember correctly, about 3 days ago, he just simply stopped coming into work.
Has there been any other cases, of people just not turning up for work?
Not often, no. I mean, what with the disease running rampant, normally you hear
yes.
about stuff and people, they just don't show up. So I kind of figured he'd be at home resting his laurel, resting himself and having a cup of soup, maybe by a warm fire.
No, I don't think that seems to be the case, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course not. Look, might be worth having a quick word with maybe some of the merchants on the stall. I mean, I spend most of my time out in the sea, fishing and the like, and the merchants they're always set up here for us to sell and buy things. They'd have eyes on Thomas a lot more during the day than us. Maybe they saw something before he disappeared,
Oh, that's excellent advice.
Aye, of
Thank you
course.
very much.
You're most welcome.
And Agnes kind of starts to walk away, and then she pauses for a moment and clears her throat, and then she turns back around again and says, I don't suppose you'd be free for a dinner one evening.
He seems to be looking at you. His sort of tongue seems to have been twisted into a knot almost as it hangs slightly agape. He says, "Dinner. I eat. I mean, I'd love to join you for dinner."
Right. Well, things are a wee bit busy at the moment, but, next time I have time to catch your breath, I'll know where to find you.
Yeah,
What's that?
of course. And I look forward to it. Till then, Miss Agnes.
Hey. And she kind of bobs a little curtsy and then walks off.
He watches you as you walk off, and then turns to like get back on the boat. But as he turns, he accidentally steps a little too far off the gangplank, and one of his legs sort of slips a little as he then corrects himself and gets back on. You can hear the couple of his fishing hands start laughing at him, and he kind of gives them a stern talking to, like, "What are y'all laughing at? Like, we need to get this off the ship, and he just starts getting back to work. All right. Now, on the docks, you see the blind merchant, the old woman that was there. She, despite her vision, seems to be paying a lot of close attention to what is going on.
Agnes will wander over. She's used to those that see more than they should.
All right. As you approach, you see that she might be blind, but her eyes, both of them, have this kind of almost jaundice yellow.
Is she sick?
You could ask her, but she looks like maybe she is. She says, "Oh, hello. Welcome. I have some of the finest fish to sell. Perhaps you'd be looking for something flaky and delicious, or maybe with the buttery texture of a good snapper."
Agnes looks at her fish to see, like, are they decent fish?
Yeah, they're pretty decent fish.
Remembering Holly's anemia, so like, do fish come high in iron at all? Or is that not a fish thing? I don't really know. It's red meat, really, isn't it? Not fish. Never mind.
Well, if you're looking for fish that are high in iron, there are, of course, a few choice things that might do well. A lot of shellfish has some pretty strong iron, I think.
I thought there, I'm a dabble in the healing arts, as it were, and do you happen to be sick, ma'am? You have just a look.
Yes,
at eye.
shellfish is high in iron. Clams, oysters, and mussels are particularly good sources, which she will inform you very educationally, saying that clams can contain up to 3 milligrams of iron, which is 17% of your daily intake.
Oh, a nice clam chowder. Yes, that'd be nice for everybody.
I mean, look. Google is a wonderful thing. How people played D&D in the 1970s is beyond me. All right. Okay. So, as far as the question of is she sick, she says, "Oh no, my eyes have always been this way. I've changed my voice. This is it now. I keep forgetting what I'm doing. But yes."
Oh.
You just say, "Oh."
I mean, someone's like, "I've always been like that," but it's like,
whoops. I'm sorry. Yes, that was slightly racist. That was slightly offensive. I was born this way. You look at this woman.
They say apologies.
No, it's quite all right. At my age, you see all sorts, and people always ask the question. But what can I help you with, beside from the client? No, she says, "Can I get you some of the oysters here?"
Um, she thinks about it for a moment and then says, "Oh, no, maybe not yet.
Okay.
But I'll definitely take some of the clams. Um, and some white flaky fish to go with it as well. 'Cause that's probably nice in the chowder.
All right.
Um,
It comes to
and she'll
about
ask if she,
2
yeah,
silver.
okay, right. She'll hand that over. And then she'll hand over like 2 more and ask if she knows of the boy Thomas, who comes around the docks.
Oh, I know of Thomas. Thomas, good young lad. Yes, no, healthy young lad. He does a lot of helpful things around this place.
Yes, well, he hasn't been seen for a couple of days.
I see. Oh, that is most problematic. He was here not too long ago, but it's probably nothing. Don't worry about
Oh,
it.
anything at all would be most helpful.
No. I'm sure he's just at home with a ball of porridge.
Unfortunately, he's not.
She looks
And
concerned.
my daughter is very worried.
She looks concerned, but then says, "I'm really sorry. I wish I could help more. I don't know what happened to poor Thomas."
Does she look like she's like hiding something?
You get that very strong impression. She says, "Well, I should be going. I just remembered I have to help." She pauses for a moment, and she says, "Listen, you seem like a nice lady. But there are things that happen on the docks that we don't talk about. And there are ears everywhere.
Agnes will touch her hand. Oh, carry on.
Oh, she says, best you forget the young boy for now. If he's had a run-in with them, then it does not spell good news for any who come looking for him."
If you'll allow me, Agnes is kind of going to reach out and just, if you'll let us, touch her head and cast message. And she'll just say, "You can tell me briefly here. Nobody will hear."
She pulls back from the spell, but you see something, a glimpse of something, in the fleeting moment that you have a connection. You see rats, thousands of them.
Oh.
She quickly shuffles away. You think maybe this is something you might need more than one person to come and help with?
Yeah. When she'll go back home, and I think since Patrick's been pottering around the shop for most of the time, buried in his books, I think she'll probably wander in, like with an absent-minded look on her face, bring him a cup of tea, sit down quietly for a little bit, and then just suddenly tell him everything.
All right. That night, Patrick, you are told the gripping tales that of Agnes's investigation of Dante. I imagine you and Fido at the end will also kind of gather up to rest your hat and relax and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sure.
And what of you, Holly? You as well?
Sorry, what's going on?
Let's no, just create a character. It's fine. All right. So number one, why are there 5 Hollies?
Because I was messing up when I was creating it. I'm in one now that I don't think I've messed up yet.
And one has Fido's character portrait.
What?
Oh yeah, there are a bunch of Hollies up there.
There are quite a lot of Hollies. Do you wanna tell me which ones are not the Holly that I'm looking at? And I think this one I can delete.
Sorry.
This one I can delete. I think.
Just look up and Holly has become the BBEG.
Yeah, Holly.
Right.
Okay, and I think that's the other one I can delete. Presuming your level 8 one is the one you're working on.
Yeah, that is the one I'm working on.
Even though we're level 7.
Wait, I shouldn't be level 8. What?
Yeah.
We're gonna try again.
Oh.
Look, it's okay. You can use it as a reference to get you back to level 7. That's not a problem. All right. More importantly, let's just pretend level 8 for now. How many level 3 spells can you cast?
I have no idea. I'm still trying to find skills.
Well, no, don't worry about skills. Okay, hold on. So, have you been using the tracker? Let's start with that.
Yes, I've been using the tracker, and I've only hit a couple levels.
Wait, so did you just hit levels, or have you applied your ancestry and all that sort of stuff?
I applied Ancestry.
Okay. So you've applied ancestry, you've done that. Okay, good. Did you add your class as well? And your background?
I added 1 of Rogue or added 2 of Rogue, and I was getting ready to take a 3rd level and take the rest in Cleric. But you're saying I'm level 8, and now I'm very confused.
Sorry, let me rephrase. Did you use the level up buttons to level up?
I use the add a level button in the tracker.
Okay. Yeah, it's weird. It's not showing me the level up button, but that's fine.
So they should have 3 uses of 3rd level spell and 2 4th level spells if they are at level 7.
Okay, cool. So you have 3 uses of remove disease. Okay, so let's very quickly.
Potentially 5 overall if they use a higher level spell slot.
All right, let's say 5 max. Like let's say 5 at the total. Holly, as you make your way towards as you make your way back towards the house, you feel yourself getting heavier. You hear whispers calling you from the darkness. As you do so, it seems to pull at you. You feel something has fundamentally changed. You're not sure what it is. You can't quite put your finger on it, but it's there. As you get closer, you have a foreboding sense as you arrive back at the gate. Penny has eaten the pies that you left behind and sees you and wags her tail as you approach.
I pet Penny.
You do so. Penny wags her tail and watches. Again, just covered in blueberries. You fly over the gate and to the front door. Once again, you knock on the door. Let's find out how this family is doing. Okay, not much has changed since you last were here.
Oh my god.
Once again, you hear the sounds of deep coughing. Please, go away from here. There is sickness inside.
I know. I can fix the sickness now. I'm here to help you.
Holly, I don't know. We don't want you to get sick. You've done so much for us. We can't risk you getting sick as well.
No, trust me. I can do this.
There's a moment's pause. Okay. You watch as he opens the door. And you can see... I don't remember his name. Does anyone remember his name?
It was 2 ladies, actually, and I don't remember their names either.
Yep. I'm going to call one Leanne.
It was someone's Patreon, or someone's thing, if I remember correctly. For their...
Yeah. Someone donated for that one. If anyone remembers what the name of the orphanage ladies were, then we will give them their name. Otherwise, you could see it is one of them indeed. Also, real quick, welcome into our dear friend Matty P. What's up, buddy? How are you, my friend? How is your stream? How is life? It is Ask a Pathfinder. You know what? I'm actually thinking about doing an Ask a Pathfinder series again, just to teach people how to play Pathfinder 2nd Edition and give them some thoughts on it. But yeah, speaking of which, we are playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition, so stick around, buddy. Stick around and see how it's done.
I'm immediately going to lay hands on her because she's obviously sick and remove disease.
Oh yeah, she is in quite late stages of the blood veil. Her eyes are super like red, as you can see the rash having crawled down her face. Now, as you try to cast the spell, you feel a cold splinter in your heart, like almost like you are going to step on a step in the dark, but then that step isn't there and your foot slips from under you. That's the feeling as you reach forward and touch this and touch her. Her name is going to be Leanne for the time being. As
Do you know it does on paper state it takes 10 minutes to use?
Yep, not a problem. As you've gone to touch Leanne, I need you to make me a fort save. Holly? You can use your original. You can use your
original.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's a 19. As you lay your hands, you watch as the rash suddenly starts to ebb. And then she says, Holly, I can breathe a little easier. What have you done?
I did what I needed to do to make sure that you guys are going to be okay. And that's all that matters. You guys are going to be okay. Who else is sick? Because I can help 4 more people right now. So who else can I help?
Oh, you should have helped the children. No, thank you. I'm sorry. I shouldn't. You realize that she spoke reflexively and apologizes profusely. She says, this way. And she takes you in where there are 16 kids lying in beds.
They're all sick.
They are all sick.
I'm going to heal the first 4 of them.
Very well. You have healed 4 of the kids.
I have friends, and my friends can also help, and I'm going to go back and bring them with me, okay?
Okay. Thank you. She leads you back to the door and tells you... Oh, actually, no. I need you to make 4 more fort saves, sorry, before you do that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's probably bad.
You can use a hero point if you like.
Yeah, let me hero point that one.
Yep, not a worry.
You have 3 of them.
All right.
Do I need to do that one again?
You won't be able to do that one again. Okay. And 1 more.
I'll hero point that one too.
All right, not a worry. Go for it. Oof. Okay. Unfortunate.
Damn it.
All right. Holly. You have contracted 2 doses of blood veil.
But I was taking the anti-blood veil stuff that Patrick gave us.
That is including that.
Oh, no.
All right. Oh, Schoolia has redeemed a divine intervention. You may re-roll 1 of them.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
That will not help either of
Oh.
them. But thank you, Schoolie. I much appreciated. Unfortunately, Holly, you now have blood veil to the 2nd degree. Meaning that at the moment you simply feel unwell. You can kind of feel the symptoms starting to kick up. There's like sort of itching around your eyes and the like, but the red veil hasn't dropped on you just yet.
I'm immediately gonna head back to the house and hope that that Dante is there and I can get him to help me and go back and help the kids.
Yes. As we now rejoin our group in that evening. Holly, you come in. Yeah, I'll say that Holly arrives last because Holly's been working super hard on this investigation. Holly comes in as Agnes is filling everyone in on the missing Thomas and something weird at the docks. Holly, what do you do?
I'm gonna kind of stagger in because I'm fairly certain I'm probably about to pass out at any moment now because double blood veil is probably quite bad.
No. Only when you get to 5 is it like really. Sorry, no. 5 is death, 4 is coma, 3 is the rash. Actually, no. Yeah, you've probably got the rash by now. So yeah, I'd say you're pretty bad.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kind of stagger into like the doorway where everyone is. Guys, I got really sick and I'm trying to help the orphans and I did everything I could, but I think I need a little bit of help. And Dante, you need to go help the orphans because everybody's sick there. And then I'm just going to decide to dramatically pass out in the doorway.
Very well. You pass out.
Dante is
pick her up and put her on the chair.
Dante is going to stop Agnes and be like, "It'd be better off to let me do this."
Oh, right, okay.
He's going to get Holly to where she won't be able to be in contact with anyone else for the time being, and then proceed to use the scroll remove disease.
Dag, you're muted.
Silence wizard.
Thank you.
Silence
Freaking silence wizard.
wizard.
All right. First of all,
I thought you were doing stuff for the Raiders.
No, I wasn't. But I should be, and I will be. Give me a minute. First of all, Dante, I need you to make a fort save. Secondly,
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much to our raiders from Lou Boffin. Guys, thank you so much. Welcome in. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Michael. I'm the Dad is a Gamer. This is my place. This is my face. And we do D&D and Pathfinder and other TTRPGs as well. We are currently playing Pathfinder 2nd Edition. So if you are keen on exploring the system, stick around where we've got another about 10, 15 minutes of our show going. So come and ask your questions. We are very interactive with chat. So if you want to know what's going on, if you have any thoughts or ideas, etc., leave them in chat because I will see them. And for my chat, guys, if you don't know who Lou Boffin is, what are you doing with your life? Go and check out our dear friend Lou Boffin over on their channel. Probably one of the quintessential shows to watch, especially if you're a Critical Role fan. Because honestly, I love tuning in to Lou Boffin's pre-show streams before Critical Role and stuff like that, as well as their watch parties. They're a wonderful world builder, wonderful content creator, and it's seriously one of the best communities that I've been a part of. Getting to hang out with them. And just seeing all the love and joy that comes from their community. It's a great vibe. So go and check it out. Now, to those of you who are wondering why we've got super spooky music on, we are currently playing Curse of the Crimson Throne. There is a plague that is gripping our city. Unfortunately, our heroes who had saved a group of orphans earlier on in the adventure have found out that the orphanage has now fallen victim to the plague. Holly, our rogue Holly, our rogue fairy, has been petitioning to all the churches to try and help alleviate the sickness from the orphanage. But everyone is out of spells. Everyone has been working week long to try and ebb this pandemic that is hitting the city. And Holly, at long last, went to go and speak to the Temple of Asmodeus and has given up her very soul to join the Temple of Asmodeus so that she might gain spells so that she can heal the children. After arriving and healing a portion of the orphanage, she is now returned back to the team where Dante is now removing diseases from her. Any questions or any thoughts? Keep going. All right, Dante, your fort save. As you...
Yep, I contracted it.
yeah, do you want to use a hero point?
No, actually, I was hoping to, because this way I don't have to hold on to Holly as longer. Dante is wanting to draw like 2 vials of his own blood afterwards, because I would feel like he'd be able to tell that he's contracted somehow.
Not yet.
Okay, so
And
Got
Holly
it,
did
got it.
ask you to go save the orphans as well.
yeah, so I will then use the hero point if I cannot actually tell if I had contracted it or not.
All right, hero point. Make the roll. Natural 20. You absolutely do not. And in addition, I'm going to say that you are immune to the effects of Blood Veil for the next 24 hours.
Awesome.
Yeah, just because that's a nat 20, and I like it. Okay, so Dante, Holly's rash is still there, but Holly, you now no longer feel that itching, burning that's sort of happening. All right, as this happens, Padrig, a lot of information has come to you today. You've spent a lot of time, sort of brewing your potions and the like, setting up the apothecary. But this whole thing with Agnes, the drug dealers, and now the children at the orphanage, it's a lot to take in.
Yes, it is.
You take it in. You may now respond to your teammates in any way you think Padrig would seem fit.
Yeah. So, the drug dealers, I think he would probably say, maybe we should talk to Quinn about that when she gets back from wherever she is. She knows a lot of shady people. She might be able to help with that. The orphans, I can brew up some more anti-plague and do whatever we can to help them. But I'm curious about Agnes's story, and I think that might be something that we might want to follow up on. What's going on there? If healthy young people are being kidnapped on the docks, would that tie to anything that he kind of got in his studies? It doesn't sound like an Urgathoa sort of thing.
No, not really. I mean, they do tend to take healthy people and inflict diseases on them. That's something that the cult of Urgathoa does. And while you were researching it, you realize that it's more of an experimentation thing. And
Right.
I mean, unless this whole city is an experiment, they wouldn't need to kidnap people to inflict them with the disease. They have plenty of samples, like
Exactly.
a huge population. Yeah, so this doesn't look like it'll be related.
Yeah. So he's going to noodle on that and see. I think that we should maybe, we got time before we get any more information on other directions to go. Maybe we see if we can track this guy down. I don't like the image you got of rats. That never bodes well.
Oh,
All right.
I don't like them either.
All right.
And
So
there were a lot of them.
Okay, so on the morrow, you are going to go and investigate the rat thing. For today, Dante, did you want to go and try and throw out some more remove diseases on the kids?
I'd only be able to do one because of when the preparing of the spells and such during the day. so I'd only be able to have one, but I would at least be able to get a few samples of the blood I was wanting to get to try and see if I could find a medicinal side.
Sure, not a problem. All right. You head back, and again, you are confronted by a locked gate. Holly, if you go around, you can talk to them and get a key. Now, as I mentioned, there are 12 kids. 3 of which have been cured. One of which you've cured the Leslie. Leanne, sorry.
Yeah, Dante would
Yeah.
be trying to see who is the furthest along before
Medicine
choosing
check.
who to actually do it for. Yep.
All right. You find someone who is literally on the verge of death.
All right. He will.
As in 10, 9, 8.
Yeah, he'll use
Seven.
cure disease on him.
All right, very well. You use cure disease. As you remove the disease, it does take 10 minutes to get through. I need you to roll me 3 medicine checks. This is to keep them stable so they survive your 10-minute cast. That is a success.
Here's the real question: can I actually? Is the nat 1 the
Yes.
only way I'm gonna fail?
No, you will also fail on a 2.
I will use the nat 20.
You're going to use the nat 20. Oh, okay. Using the big old nat 20. Thank you to, of course, our audience for donating that nat 20 to our lovely, lovely healer. All right. That is the second success. And one more. All right. 10 minutes is a struggle. It seems much longer. As you're casting, sweat is pouring down your brow as you are tending to this small child. But as the 10 minutes pass, she starts to breathe easier. She'll live. Which was really good because I rolled a percentage when Holly left, and it said it said that one of the kids is in critical condition. So I was gonna originally, when you came in, roll an odds to see if you actually got that right kid, and then as soon as you left, when you came back the next day, that kid would have been dead. But you made the right call, you found the right kid, and you made the 3 checks, and she's alive.
Basics of medicine. Find who's the worst off first.
That was amazing. That was well done. That's very, very well done. I'm colored very impressed. That being said, there are still now 8 kids who are still in a life-threatening situation. Still contracted from the disease. For now, however, we will fast forward a little bit so we can have a little bit of time here. As you promised to return the next day, Holly, your night is stricken with nightmares. A hellish landscape is before you, where a creature is talking to you, but you do not understand it at all. Holly, do you speak Infernal?
I do not speak Infernal.
You do now.
Oh, goody!
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah, you're basically taught it in your sleep by what appears to be a devil covered in contracts. Part of your contract was that you will get this as a bonus. The next morning, you were all awoken, and I presume you guys wanted to investigate the dock stuff first?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Agnes and with anyone else who wants to come.
Okay, do you guys want to go treat the rest of the kids and then go to the docks?
I would say sick kids take precedence.
Yep.
Yes.
All right, Holly, you're the only person who needs to make the fort saves here. So, Dante, how many remove disease spells do you have?
I would have prepared all 5.
Then you wipe out all 5. Holly, I need 3 from you as you use 3 of your spell slots for it. Keep going. That is a failure, by the way. That is a second failure.
Ignores what
And-
those say. Those is
yeah.
just me taking track.
All right, that is 3 failures. Now, if you want to, you could use the natural 20 on the first one and then gain that immunity, and then you can do the others without contracting it. Otherwise, you were at Bloodveil 3.
Oh, Scolia did a divine intervention.
Scully's got a divine intervention. We'll hold on to that for a second. We'll see what Holly wants to do. Holly, do you want to use the nat 20?
Yeah, because that's 3 failures. So even with a divine intervention, that's still 1 failure. So let me use the nat 20. And
Okay.
thank you so much,
Okay.
Scully.
All right, we'll use the nat 20 and we'll refund Scully the thing, which I know how to do, maybe.
It's somewhere.
It's somewhere. I know that it is somewhere. Okay. So, as you manage to cure the kids in the orphanage, they are very thankful, and because of you, they are now able to survive the next leg. However, Leanne says that she's grateful, but she was just very sad that not everyone could have been saved.
Second hand can do it if you want.
Oh, thank you, second hand, please.
Eye.
There you go, Hargour. I wish I did. It's somewhere. It's somewhere. I'll figure it out one day when I learn to adult. All right. She takes you to the grave. The grave did not belong to one of the kids. It belonged to her partner, who, Holly, you now realize you haven't seen since you checked in on them. She
Oh,
did not
no.
make it.
I'm going to hug her. I'm going to hug Leanne and tell her how sorry I am that I wasn't able to get there sooner.
She says, "Don't be silly. If you hadn't got here when you did, it would have been a lot worse." And she knows that that if she was still alive, her partner would have expressed the same thing. She would have been thankful, and she would have wanted you to care for the kids before herself. So there's nothing to apologize for. The disease has taken much from a lot of people, but at the very least, it doesn't. At least this city has not taken more from these kids, and for that, she's very grateful. All right. You then make your way towards the dockyards. A somber victory over the disease at the orphanage. Padrig, Agnes, Fido, Dante, and Holly. The docks themselves are quieter than usual. The disappearances have definitely taken their toll, and not many people have offered to take up the role of those who have mysteriously gone missing. As you arrive, the old woman does not seem to be here, Agnes. But you do see a group of individuals that seem to be very interested in your arrival, Agnes.
She will peruse them. What were they like wearing? What they just.
They seem quite thuggish. They're wearing leather armors, and they don't have any like kind of swords or anything like weapons and stuff, but you can tell from the way that they stand that they're definitely troublemakers.
Mm. Well, they seem to be awfully interested in me. I'm not entirely sure it's for my charm and good looks.
If you had to guess, you would probably say that they noticed you asking questions the other day.
This just her?
Just her.
You all keep watch. I'm going to go talk to them. And Agnes will she'll go over. Not too close, but not within arm's reach or anything, but she'll wander over. Can I help you, gentlemen? You seem awfully interested.
They look in your direction, and one of them speaks up. You was wandering round the docks, you were? What you looking for?
A boy.
Well, there are plenty of places down on Hill's Ends if you're looking for a boy, love.
That's disgusting, young man.
You watch as they're kind of chuckling at like they when kids are like they think they're so clever. It's very much that energy, that vibe.
He just kind of just crosses his arms and sighs.
Patrick is going to be standing not too far back, definitely within sight, and just kind of casually let his coat fall so that his rifle is visible.
They don't take that well. They look in your direction. Oh, your friend's some kind of tough guy then, eh?
Sometimes, but most of the time he's a sweetheart. Look, I was just looking for Thomas, my girlfriend, my daughter. She's very worried about him. That's all.
Make a
There's no harm in
diplomacy check.
that, is there? I shut it down, it seems.
All right.
Ooh.
All right, pretty good. With that, they look in your direction and they say, Dan. Oh, you mean that geezer? Yeah, nah, he hopped a boat.
Oh, just like that.
Just like that. Didn't say nothing to no one. Shame, really.
And you just happen to know this.
Oh, yeah, we were tight, me and Thomas. Thick as thieves we were. You see a couple of them sort of chuckle.
I'd say I rightly believe you. But what am I going to do there?
As you look around, you watch as they kind of like start to, I guess, encroach on Agnes, moving towards her somewhat menacingly. I was gonna say not menacingly, but like it's hard to not be menacing here in this kind of situation. So yeah, they are quite menacing.
I will walk up next to her and I will address all of them. You realize your lives mean nothing to this city, and the path you are about to take will make sure that those lives will end very quickly. I would highly reconsider what it is you think you are doing. Else I shall teach you what you are.
Very cool. All right, make an intimidate check on that.
Also, if this is day 3, can we have a long rest, please?
Oh yes, I will apply a long rest to you guys. My apologies.
Thank you.
There you are. You have your overnight rest.
Yay.
All right. All right. With a 24 on the intimidation, they kind of look at each other and then look in your direction. They say, yeah, we knew you were trouble. The old lady act, the innocent, doddering old woman, ain't buying that for a second. No old lady comes looking for someone down at the docks and shows up with what looks to be a gunslinger, giant robot construct, and
Every time he says the word old, you just see Agnes's eyes squint further and further.
yeah, nah, you're not just some old geezer. You're trouble. And we don't stand for trouble here. They're not moving closer anymore, but they have. I guess they're like playing their ground.
Agnes is going to she's going to say, "Oh, look now, come now. Surely it would be better for everybody if you just, forgot this happened and turned around and walked away, and then nobody needs to get hurt." And as she does it, she's going to cast the spell suggestion upon him.
Ooh.
Whereas I can suggest a course of action that's not self-destructive or, like obviously against target self-interest.
No, I like that. I like that. All right, make a what's the DC? Sorry.
It should have a will save on it. I can drop the will. It's a will save DC 25.
DC 25. Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they can handle that. I don't think they're ready for this jelly.
And she'll do it on the one that seems to have been doing the talking, that seems to like be the leader kind of thing.
Yeah. No worries. Not a worry. I think my body's so delicious for you, babe. All right. Boom. There it is. Okay. What was the save? Sorry, it was a will save. That is a 23.
Ooh, they almost made it.
They do not make it. They look to you and they say, well, fine. But if you know what's good for you, you turn back and go back the way you came. Come on, boys. This ain't fun no more. And you watch as they skulk off.
Close. Thanks for the backup there.
What do you think, fellas? Should we trail them or continue our investigation elsewhere?
Well, if we do trail them, be able to sure we could find something. They seem to know more than what they're letting on. Obviously lying about what happened to our friend.
They definitely know more than they're letting on, and they seems like if we can track them, maybe we can get some more information.
All right. So you're going to go track them?
Yes, I will actually do so.
All right. Let's get a stealth check from you guys, please.
Sure.
Oh dear.
That did not roll onto the board. Crap.
Oh my goodness.
Nice! Natural 20!
Of course, the second roll I make on the thing, I roll lower.
Meanwhile, Fido has become one with the street.
All right. You begin
am
to
the
follow
shadow.
these individuals, but thankfully they're not very observant. As Padrig and Fido, you guys lead the way and kind of make it easier for you guys to approach. Eventually, they come to what looks to be a sewer grate and head down into the sewers themselves.
Oh, goody, the sewers again.
These are always so much fun.
Do you follow?
I think we kind of have to.
Right now. Oh. I mean, they're not going anywhere. Right, the sewers, that is.
Do we want to mark where this is and prepare and come back?
To be somewhat clear, you know that they immediately went for this sewer. They weren't milling about and then went to go hang out. As soon as they were done talking to you, they beelined for this place.
It is a definite sign, friend.
I think that means follow them.
All right.
I concur.
For the time being, as to see the map title I'm not going to change my idea, though. As they're going down, Dante will become his fox form.
Not a worry. You regret this almost immediately, as the smell is atrocious.
Also, it's in a very dark scenery, and it's probably because I'm in the wall.
Oh yes, probably. Let me move Dante real quick. There. Okay.
Nope, it is still dark.
There.
Agnes is also in darkness.
That better?
Ah, yes, it is now dark because of not having vision.
All right. Who wants to
Or
carry a
proper
torch?
vision.
What?
Who wants to carry a torch?
Carrying a torch already? No. Oh, wrong kind of torch. Sorry.
I think Agnes would. To be fair, she doesn't really wield weapons, so
Done. There you go.
Or
Okay.
our party members.
Now, you make your way into the dark, and through the disgustingly visible haze of the noxious sewer reek, the flow of unmentionable slop begins to flow through the sewer's tunnel and the filth-slick channel that runs between these two spaces. Two like little walkways that you would normally use to traverse this. Through the left-hand side, as you make your way down, you can see a large cleft in the wall, a man-sized crack which runs deep into the rock. There, within, you hear the sounds of laughter coming from those same kids. Yeah, you showed them what's what. Did he really show them what's what? Yeah, he showed them. Well, I feel like maybe they kind of didn't really leave, was supposed to, drive off anyone that was... Shh, quiet you. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, you are sorry. Look, it's quite simple. Gurigs didn't want anyone coming to snoop around. Yeah, but why do we have to be the ones? Because we're the ones who can go up the top without causing any problems. But you caused a problem. Shut up, Muggsy. I don't know, I feel like his name's Muggsy.
Muggsy.
Yeah. Quiet, Muggsy.
He sounds like a Mugsy.
As he continues to chat within, you kind of peek through the crack here, and you see something that you weren't expecting. Instead of seeing the three young dock workers, you see 3 humanoid rat people.
Sexy.
As they say, yeah, they were coming looking for Thomas. Yeah, but he's already dead, isn't he? And that is where we're going to end today's session. Dun dun dun!
No.
Dun-dun-dun-dun.
I
just
immediately
gonna
start
go
thinking to
ham.
myself. I immediately start thinking to myself, oh, so he's hiding in the stove, eh?
Hiding in the stove, eh? Go get him, Muggsy. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming and joining us. We will find out what happened to Thomas next week when we return. Yeah, what do you guys think of the rat people? They're kind of cool.
Well, they're all gonna die.
Savage.
Agnes says, matter-of-factly.
I share that.
Obviously, we're going to kill them all.
Well, they're all dead.
I had a great action hero line I was going to give, and I just didn't get a chance to do it.
No. Well, that's okay. Save it for next time. We'll throw them
Okay.
in. All right. Let us now take a moment to quickly thank all of the wonderful people that helped us out today. So thank you to our lovely audience, to everyone who donated to the stream and to all the cool stuff that we did. Thank you, of course, to everyone who stuck around through the raids. You guys are bloody brilliant. And I'll tell you what, we are going to be doing, we do a lot of Pathfinder here as well. I know with everything going on, a lot of people are talking about exploring Pathfinder. This is the place to hang out. If you guys want to as well, feel free to drop by our Discord. There is a Ask Dag chat where you guys can ask me any and all questions regarding the Pathfinder, TTRPGs in general. I do a ton of different games and different systems as well. So, try me for the most part when it comes to the different games I play. But yeah, no, look, I love Pathfinder. I always have. It's a lot of fun. It's such a dynamic game. And there's so much that you can do with it as well. So yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, let us now thank our players, thank our sponsors, which of course are Hero Forge for the wonderful artworks you can see on stream, as well as the token minis that you can see behind me there for my game system. Thank you to Sirenscape for the wonderful sounds that my audience got to hear today, and thank you to Fantasy Grounds for our VTT of choice. And of course, thank you to Al the Pac-Man for the follow, you bloody legend. As well as Sirana74, who also followed us not too long ago, and Jose freaking Perez. I love that. I love the fact. I love it. It's just I can't not say that dynamically. It's amazing. All right, who is raid worthy right now? Who is doing stuff? Lord Gazumba's doing some stuff. Scarlet's doing some stuff. Let's see who else. We have lots of friends doing some TTRPG nonsense and shenanigans, and we always love passing on good wishes and things. My computer loads so slowly. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We've also got Total Party Chill is doing some stuff. Let's see. Elfane. What are you up to, Total Party Chill? We haven't. Oh, they're doing a clip show. What clip show? Nope. Okay. So we are gonna go and raid our friends at Top Notch. That's what we're gonna do. We haven't raided Top Notch in a hot minute. So guys, Top Notch. Wonderful TTRPG players. Not only that, they use Tailspire, which is one of these awesome apps that I have absolutely loved, which is a 3D virtual tabletop. I've been keen on trying it myself at one point or another, but go check these guys out and see how they run it, because they are definitely showing us up. Thank you very much, everyone. Stay safe, stay wonderful, and till we meet again, as always, from me to you, game hard or die trying. Good night, folks.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.